All right, here we have a smaller fir tree that has crossed into the jack zone. And let me show you why here real quick. So, we're putting it out here, and it's really important it doesn't go down in there or anything. That is not a zone we want it down in. We want it all out here. And so this tree leans back the opposite of that, but it also has a significant amount of limb weight on the back. All the limbs are on the back, and none of the limbs are really on the front here. And the reason is because it grew up beside this tree here, and it grew trying to reach out for the sun, and so all the limbs ended up on the back side. So got the limbs on the back side. Let's go ahead and take a quick look with the plumb bob. So you can see the gap at the bottom there. I'll go on to the other side here. It's maybe about 10 degrees back, which is right on the verge of a hard wedger. I explained more about this in the other video. It talks about, you know, when a tree is wedgeable, but they got more detail on that. But to do that video, you would have to become a member, which is a great idea if you have not done so already. But if you would like to see lots of other good free stuff, you can do that as well. Either way, it's a good idea. Let's see here. Where was I? All right, so we got about 10 degrees back, which is in the hard wedge range. But because, if I get over here, hopefully you can see this on the camera, but because all the limb weight's on the back, I'm going to put it in not a hard jack. I'm not going to say it's a hard jack. I'm just going to say it's a jack tree, because you can very easily get into a tree like that, put the back cut in first, wedge it up really hard, and have more than you could handle, or just have a real tussle. So rather than do that, we're just going to go with tree jack and do it that way. Better safe than sorry. So we don't really have the option of cutting it off backwards or anything if anything goes wrong, because of the zones and stuff that I'm working around right here. So because we don't want to make a mess, we got to be sure when we sock into this thing that we can handle what we got going on here. All right, I'll get you guys down here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that jack seat in. Now, jack and small trees, no different. You put your jack seat in first. All that. Try not to cut too much into it, just enough to get your jack in usually, because you don't want that tree to settle back on you. You don't want it to get settled back on you. So just get enough to get your jack seat in, get your jack in, and pump it up real good. You're usually going to want to see it go forward some. When you see all that and you feel real comfortable, then go ahead and take the face out. button on this saw keeps, it doesn't quite shut off. I don't know why. Was it defective or what? Might have to get a new shut off button, the old 500. Okay. Alright, that fits in there pretty nice. Just get it nice and snug, and I'm going to watch the top, make sure it's lifting. Yeah, it's starting to lift a little bit. Okay. Get that nice and snug. I'll go ahead and take that face cut out. I'll leave plenty of wood. And then I'll cut the wood up a little bit from the front once I get it moved up a little bit, because I don't want to risk losing it over backwards. And I'll step down and offset below my back cut a little bit. That just helps with holding it on the stump. Not a ton, but a little bit. It does help. You can see, cut to there. I got a lot of hinge, and I'll go ahead and feather out the center once I start jacking it up a little bit more, and it should go right on over, theoretically. And we got lots of hinge here too. Biggest thing is just not letting them get the jump on you, because if they settle back, and we don't have any kind of option for pushing it out of here or anything, you just don't want to let them get the jump on you and settle back. That's nice and firm. It's amazing how much weight, when you get that limb weight out back behind you like that, you know, if you want to put the back cut in and wedge something like this, that limb weight is what put it into the jack territory. If it would have been limbs all the way around, probably would have been, you know, maybe a hard wedger, but not necessarily having to have the jack. But yeah, I'm definitely having to lift it. Okay, I'll go ahead and cut a little of that center wood out. off button just isn't very nice. Alright, that should probably do it. Yeah, there she goes. Well, we got it over where we wanted it. I mean, I left more wood on there than I normally would, but it's better that than having it settle back. And I guess I could have nicked in here a little more as I nicked in here and gouged the center out. Kind of left the two sides thick. Keep it on track to go out there. And yeah, overall that worked out pretty well. All right guys, catch you on the next one.